Hey, Patrick Coffin here with a walk and talk. I'm really preaching to myself here with this. If you've paid attention to the news at all, you know there's a lot of tension, violence. It's all fed and watered by the media, who amplify conflict wherever they find it. And I'm talking about the temptation to bring this up with your own kids, or to allow them to overhear serious adult conversations relative to all the cultural clashes that are happening, particularly in American cities. I know how easy it is to slip into it, but kids should remain kids for as long as they can, as long as prudently possible. I happen to be a big fan of bubbles, keeping kids in bubbles. Yes, I am. But that has to be done with prudence and age appropriateness. Kids need to be building forts, learning new board games, playing together, learning sports skills, camping, swimming, hitting the beach, hitting the lake, hanging out with each other, new card games, all those fun activities that were enjoyed by countless generations before the invention of the video game. I know how tempting it is to in the guise of wanting to educate them, or even to form them as culture warriors. But really, they don't deserve all of the negative energy that you and I can give off. And sometimes it comes in the form of, I won't say an aura, but it's more of a vibe. Ask any police officer, ask a skilled supervisor, ask a border guard, a TSA agent, if they can detect little tells that someone is nervous or afraid or hiding something. Kids look at us that way. They're sponges. They are paying attention to the conversations that we have at dinner, with our adult peers, with our spouses. And again, I'm preaching to myself first because I have done this. Let kids be kids. One of the reasons why I founded Coffin Nation was to examine the roots of what we call the West. What were the ideas that fed into the writing of the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights? What's the Magna Carta? What does it mean to be a Christian nation? And what are the isms that have begun to undo this foundation? What are the idea viruses that infiltrate and infect human minds now? And this is the kind of thing we talk about all the time inside Coffin Nation. We encourage each other. We've got members in over 20 countries. And the culture is rooted in religion. It's almost a synonym, culture and religion. Cultus, the Latin word for to till or to cultivate, also means to worship. And if your religious foundations begin to crumble, you have no basis for law and order. Let's let our kids be kids. They'll have plenty of time to learn from our example. I have 3 Bible verses for you, and then I can end there. These are things that just kind of jumped out at me during my recent studies. Colossians 3, verse 21, and they're directed to dads. Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. Ephesians 6, verse 4, fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord. 2 great flaming darts of truth directed at fathers. Finally, Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. This applies to all of us. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, give thanks, present your requests to God. And in the peace of God which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Notice that opening lines, verse 6. Do not be anxious about anything. That is not a suggestion. That is a commandment. The world suffers a father wound, like the devil does, like many of us do. Think about the word patriotic. Patria means father. So the destruction of countries is a kind of symbolic desire to kill off the father and his rule, his authority. But as Christians, we know that God himself is a father. That's not a metaphor, that's an ontological reality. God is Father. So let's be his kids, and let's let our kids stay kids for as long as we can. Check out coffinnation.com, keep in touch, and be a saint. What else is there?